What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Alex from APE. So today I'm going to be finally doing a wrap-up video on my E30 VR6 project. It's been about 2 years since I last posted. I've been working a little bit here and there on the project. A lot of stuff has been going on, so the project had been sidelined, but I had many requests to see where the car is at. So today I'm going to be doing a quick update video, show you guys everything that has been going on, all the little things that were finished. And once this update is done, then I'll show you where we're at as of right now and show you what's going to be coming in the next couple of weeks. So here we go with the wrap up. So last video I showed you guys was actually the flywheel and clutch kit assembly that I had 3D printed. Once I rechecked everything, I saw that I had a couple clearance issues, so I decided to print a new design with adjustments to fit with the E36 M3 clutch kit. So another 30 hours to get everything printed. So everything was adjusted, and then I sent the drawings out to the machining and got this nice billet aluminum flywheel, which turned out awesome. So I was using the actual flex plate from the Touareg bolted on to simplify the design up to a maximum. And then in order to install everything in the car correctly aligned, I designed a little alignment 3D printed tool to be sure that everything was perfectly centered, and then test fitted the transmission and everything was working fine. So finally I had the engine and transmission mounted back together and ready to continue the assembly. Now that the drivetrain was fully assembled and everything seemed to fit, it was now time to finish reassembling the engine. So one big part was the intake manifold. The throttle body would be coming directly into the firewall. So I decided to design a little 3D printed elbow to be able to turn the throttle body towards the front of the engine. So I draw that out, 3D printed it and test fit it, and everything was working fine. So the 3D printed version is really just for mock-up for now, and an aluminum one will be fabricated later on. So with that done, I had all the modifications completed on my intake manifold, and I was ready to reassemble the rest of the engine. Now that the engine was back in the car, it was time to work on the wiring. So one of my good buddies had already done all the hard wiring parts, so taking the stock Touareg harness, removing anything that wasn't needed. So it was time to just plug everything in and try starting the engine. Before starting the actual engine, I wanted to confirm that my custom oil pump, pickup, and regulator were working correctly. So I just wanted to get the engine turning on the starter to monitor pressure and ensure that everything was going correctly before I actually started the engine, because I wanted to be sure I'm not going to be damaging any bearings or anything like that. So just plugged in the battery and started cranking. Woo! What a relief. So we got pressure. So that means I can plug everything in and start really cranking the engine to get a first start. And with the engine running, now I can monitor the oil pressure and then adjust my oil pressure regulator. Because as you know, I don't have any regulator in the pump anymore. It's an adjustable one, so I need to adjust it to be sure that I don't go over the maximum rating and don't blow up my oil filter. After a couple adjustments, had the oil pressure right on stock PSI, so I could let it run a little bit. So definitely really a big step in the progress of this project to get the engine running with good oil pressure. So after a little bit of idle, I just wanted to test it inside the car. So got a couple of wires plugged in and tried starting it from inside the car with the actual key to confirm that everything was working correctly before I start disassembling all the dashboard and cleaning up all the wiring underneath the dash. So I removed the whole dash because I wanted to do a big cleanup in there since the car had already been swapped in the past. The harness behind the dash was really a mess, so I wanted to clean everything out. Also, in the meantime, wanted to remove the HVAC unit because I'm not going to be running the stock one. I don't know what I'm going to be putting in there eventually, but for now, no heating, so that went out. That saves a lot of weight. And then I needed to find a place to install the ECU from the Volkswagen engine. So I cleaned everything out, worked on the harness to adjust the lengths. I drew myself a little ECU holder that I 3D printed that's going to be going underneath the glove box area, with also all the bus bars and all my power and negative are going to be going over there, because eventually I want to remove the stock relay box from the E30 and put everything standalone. But for now, I really just want the car to run so I can actually test drive it, ensure that my clutch kit, flywheel, everything is working. And then this winter, do a full deep dive on everything and get it really cleaned up and ready for 2026 to get it all done with paint and everything. Next step was now the throttle pedal. So in order to get the VR6 to work in the A30, I needed to fit the Volkswagen throttle pedal that is drive-by-wire. So I decided to keep the stock pedal assembly, which has the brake and the clutch pedal, and fabricate an adapter to be able to fit the Volkswagen throttle pedal. So here we are all caught up. So as you can see, the car is not as assembled as it was. So since the startup was done, I had to deassemble a couple of parts to be able to finalize a couple of little spots on the car. So here's what's left. So all cooling system. So I'll need to redesign here at the end of the cooling system to go reconnect on the radiator. So on this side, same thing on this side here, driver's side. So I'll be doing a custom crack pipe with external thermostat housing, since I won't be able to use the default one. Finish my oil lines with my oil pressure regulator. If you haven't seen the setup yet, you can look into my previous videos, and I'll do a video when I'll be installing those in the engine bay somewhere here with the actual oil filter and oil cooler in the front. And then for the inside of the car, as you can see, it's pretty stripped up with a lot of parts and stuff inside. So as I showed you before, we have the pedals almost in final assembly. I can play with the angle of the throttle pedal a little bit because it's a little bit high right now. I'm only missing the springs for the brake pedal, which is going to sit a little bit higher, and same thing for clutch pedal. So everything should be pretty close. And then we can see the actual hole in the firewall. So this will be where I'll have my coolant lines passing, and then I'll box that out with steel plate, and then I can finish up the wiring. So we see the actual harness that's here that's going to be reinstalled. Finish all my power and negative lines that are going to my battery, which is in the trunk of the car. and then reinstall the dash and get ready for a final real startup, get everything heated up, and get ready for the first drive. So there it is, guys. Long time coming. Have a couple of big points to finish up on the car. And the plan is to hopefully get it driving before winter so I can actually test all the clutch system, flywheel, drivetrain to ensure that there aren't any issues on that side. And then this winter is going to be all the cosmetic stuff. So getting the car painted, get everything buttoned up, really clean for that summer 2026. I can get this car out and drive it all next summer. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or anything, you can follow us on Instagram or Facebook. I'll post some stuff on there. And if ever you have anything, feel free to comment or give me a heads up. So take care, guys, and see you next time.